all these clones, we the original.
All right. So everybody phones on silence or airplane mode.
Forget what my phone even is.
Yeah. Oh man. So
Anyone know where my phone is?
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
The tourists come over to chill on the beach, but they don't come over the hill where we sleep. We got nightmares and they got fantasies. No sanity, it's just insanity. My mommy hoping nothing happens to me.
Is it connected to the speaker so if it didn't go off?
I mean,
Big noise.
we always have weird stuff happening during the episodes.
Yeah.
anyway.
I mean, you could take care of it, so.
It is what it is. We like one episode we had a ghost. Remember we did that?
Yeah.
All right, around the corner.
Your boy, people.
Yeah. Anyway, it's yes, yo. I don't know why I keep on starting every part like that, bro. But you know what it is. Welcome to another episode of Erryting Kool.
Yo.
It's me again, your fave Zod, even though I retired that name.
Yeah, I was going to say.
St. Anton Alexander the Negus of Nassau, Lord Jalen Willard. And we have the mysterious voice, the shaman himself. You can't even see him.
This man's give me all kind of nicknames. I ain't even co-sign them.
He didn't co-sign any names, but, we have the reliable Super Marco Bros.
What's going on?
Marco's with the pizza delivery.
I know about all that, but.
All right.
You know what I mean?
And then we have a special guest. I know y'all see this little mural. It's almost like I should bow down and worship it just
Mother-
like you ever see like my Hey Arnold with Helga?
Yeah.
And you have that shrine?
Yeah.
Like, it's like the shrine. Oh my goodness. But we have with us Benji from Hamian Magazine.
Yo.
We have an audience in here. Let's give him a round of applause. Woo. Well, y'all could do better than that. I ain't like, we tell y'all we upgrading. We gonna get studio. We gonna get live audience. What we gonna do next? We must be gonna jump out a plane and pod next time.
Right?
But on every episode of Erryting Kool, we like to start off each episode with the Bahamian word, phrase, or saying of the day. And today's Bahamian word, phrase, and the saying is, let me check my phone. Wait, hold on. What you saying?
Yeah, but what you saying, man?
Nah, tell me what you saying means.
I feel like that's just a staple greeting. Like, you pull up and you see someone, and as soon as y'all do like the respectful head nod, is what you saying?
Yeah, but that head nod.
Yeah.
That official.
I always wonder why people, like, because random people will pass you and just like head nod, but it's like, you don't even know me though. How you know we even cool?
That's just respect, bro.
Yeah, it's just a mutual vibe.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But we about to bring the vibes with Hamian Magazine. So Benji, I mean, we might as well just jump to the chase. Tell us about like how you started, like, what high school you went to. Like, obviously you're a Bahamian. This is a Bahamian podcast. So are you originally from Nassau?
Well, so actually, coincidence, I'm actually technically not Bahamian. But that's all a part of the whole story.
Cultural appropriation.
So basically, I come from a pretty diverse family. So my mom's from England, my dad's from Jamaica.
Okay.
And they both moved to the Bahamas when they were like in their 20s.
Hello, which year this was?
I think they came in like early 80s.
All right. Okay.
And I was born in 98. And I was born on Nassau.
Okay.
And this is where I lived like my whole life.
Well, you Bahamian, bro?
And
Oh, then you was Russ when you hear Junkanoo?
Yeah.
All right, so you was Bahamian, bro?
Yeah.
Like that's what I always say. If your heart sound like a goat skin drum, you was Bahamian, bro. If you born there, you're born there, bro.
Facts. Like, this is the only culture I ever know. This is the only people I ever know. So as far as I'm concerned, like, this is a big part of who I am. So growing up, I went to probably two of the best schools, I'd say, in the Bahamas. I went to Xavier's lower school in primary school.
Hey.
Big ups, big ups. And then I went to QC for high school. So I know that's a probably, I probably get a little down.
You had me at Xavier's.
Yeah, but I went to QC, and I just always been trying to break the box, but I just always been trying to experiment and do something new. I always had ideas in my head.
Yeah.
And like I look at what I do now, and it really ain't nothing different from what I used to be doing when I was younger. It was always just let me think of something and see how I could turn into reality.
That's good. I mean, that's how innovation happens, and it just astounds me. I just did the math in my head. You born in '98, bro.
Yeah.
So that mean you dead young, bro.
I mean,
like,
21.
Yeah. So I mean, you got the whole shrine set up, the whole brand set up, and you ain't even crack 25. That's good. Bro.
Yeah, but it's man in 20 prime right now.
Yeah, I respect. Yeah.
No, but it always is good to start young because, like, the younger the better. So by the time you get 30, you already had like 10 years experience doing what you do.
And I mean, from my opinion, I already had like almost 5-10 years of experience building brands because, like, I did a bunch of small things in high school and in college. Like in college, I started a Caribbean Student Association.
Interesting.
I tried a little like nonprofit startup called BAPE, the Bahamas Association of Young Professionals. Like I was been and trying to get involved with clubs and just something, So I look at that as just experience building up brands from then, whether it's working for someone on their brand or trying to do something that's my own. It all is a process. So I mean, I think you could start at any age. If kids starting to experiment from they 5, 6, 7 years old creatively, then when you get 21, you could say, but I don't have plenty experience to really take it off,
And then you don't have to go through that whole I'm trying to find out what I'm trying to do. It's like you been know what you're trying to do. You already know like what's your purpose. But what college you went to?
So I went to Liberty University in Virginia. I still technically am enrolled as a student. I was a senior. But with this COVID-19 thing, we didn't really know what's about to happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting. So you was telling me over the phone that you had a great role to play in with Bahamians coming to Liberty. Because, like, I had friends back then that, was telling me about Liberty University and, the different culture and how, like, I think Liberty still has the high school, right?
Yeah, they still have LCA attached to it.
Okay.
Which is the high school.
So, and I mean, I've heard good things about the perception of Bahamians at Liberty, but I've also heard the negative things that's around it. And you probably heard it too.
Oh, yeah. No, I heard it. I lived in it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of things. Like, Liberty is a very interesting school. A lot of great things in it. A lot of questionable things. But I think it's one of those places that provides one of the biggest opportunities. Because for some people, you could look at it as like a stagnant environment where there's a lot of criticisms.
Yeah.
Like any school, you can see like the structural issues which exist.
Right.
And Liberty is like such a family environment that it's like, same thing if your family members beefing, it kind of affect you because you close. It's that
more
same
sentimental.
thing. Yeah. Like we close with everything that's going on in the school. So anytime there's news going on, not only is it reflected on, the people in charge, but it's reflected in us as students. But one thing I always have to give it credit for is there's tons of opportunity.
That's good.
A big thing in the push to bring a lot more Bahamians there was just looking back on the past and saying that there was at one point a big Bahamian presence and it kind of slowed down. And when I came in as a freshman, even from before I was a student, I was working to go to like seminars recruiting Bahamians, even though I hadn't even gone to the school yet. But I could already see the vision that they showed me from before I went there of like training champions for Christ. And I saw that was like the ethos of it.
Okay.
And in my time, I tried to live that and get involved with it and push the box and get people involved. And now we have like 30, 40 deep Bahamians there.
Yeah, and they was even on stage when it was the whole Hurricane Dorian situation.
Yeah, no, that was crazy because Hurricane Dorian happened and all us got together and it was like, what we gonna do? And we just called a meeting. And I think most people did that. They called a meeting. They was like, what can we do to help out? And we just pressed the school. We really was like, no, we want to do something more. And we got onto convocation, we got onto the stage, but then we also got behind the scenes to meetings with like our campus pastor. And he said, let's have one little like luncheon meeting. And he thought it was going to be like 1, 2, 3 people. Then we pulled up with like 25 people in the meeting. And then 25 students was like, no, we want one relief trip. So they like did a lot to really allow for that to happen. We were able to send a team of 8 people down to Abaco, probably about 4 weeks afterwards to help with the restoration of Hopetown Primary School, where we just helping like gut it out and help move the process forward for what they're trying to do there. So in that regards, they done a lot to help out the country. So have to give them respect for that.
That's good. That's good. Like, with all that positivity, I ain't gonna bring up the fight I heard about Bahamians in the area, but
I'm curious.
I heard
Controversy.
from controversy time. I heard that there's a perception about Bahamian men, not Hamian men, but
Yeah.
Different. Yeah.
Bahamian men that they basically get women pregnant and then
What?
leave.
Nah, cap. CAP.
Yeah, let me.
That still happening.
But to my knowledge, in my past 4 years, that ain't our reputation.
No, but that was a reputation
that's
going
that,
from in the mid 2000s. So that probably might have died.
Yeah, but that
then.
long time ago. It's
Yeah.
2020
Real.
now.
Yeah. I was just making sure.
The bad reputation that we have is for other things now, but not the Bahamians. I think Bahamians have probably the best rep in the school
All right.
because no one can mess with us. You see what I'm saying?
Big ups.
Yeah,
Y'all's Teflon Dons on campus.
yeah.
I feel that. So, obviously, because you graduate this summer, but I feel like you first came across my radar with this brand probably like a year ago.
Really?
So, yeah.
A year ago.
Yeah.
It can't be that. We launched January.
What? I feel like it's been longer than that.
There's a lot been going on.
Well, see, okay. You came across my radar during that time.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, see, for those who don't know, I am like the Batman of Bahamian culture. Like, I would sit behind this big grandiose screen in my bar cave and I just watch. And I'd be like, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Nothing to know to this. But tell me, what's the early beginnings of bringing this concept of Hamian Official? I think when I first looked at the pages, I was like, okay, they're doing a magazine. It's about, cultural, like, having your pulse on the culture, everything that's Bahamian. Because I feel like we live in this digital age where I think, especially our generation, is more trying to make, and it's also my goal is to make being Bahamian cool. Because it's like, you have other cultures that make their culture cool. We always, and I guess for us who have traveled and studied abroad, whether it be in the U.S. or Canada or any place else, you always have this, ill feeling of people trying to confuse you with being Jamaican. Because you come from a very interesting culture, but, you sort of disrespect your own culture, like, probably when you was growing up, but you like, bro, this was what makes me different from everybody else.
Facts.
So speak on that.
Yeah, I think when I look at the origins of just the brand, the Hamian, from the get, its roots in the Bahamas. And before I started Hamian, I was involved in like a lot of different projects. And one of the most recent ones before it was BAYP, which is the Bahamas Association of Young Professionals. And my goal with that was taking what I learned in school and trying to bring it to the Bahamas in order to move change and get a lot of innovation going. And I study international relations at school, which is like government, politics, policy. So I was understanding how the world works and operates. And my goal was kind of to work up to the top of that and be able to influence change from like a government level, from like an international level. So I started BAYP being almost like this think tank where Bahamians could come in and write articles and put in research and give actual like independent solutions that are well researched to the problems that we have. So it would be like a kind of free source for solutions to the problems that we have. That isn't just by we should fix this, by we need to do this, but actually like independent and thorough. So I did that, and as I was working on building out that brand, I understood the need for building out a social media presence at the time. Because as good as it was to have a 20-page article, you needed different pieces of content to really reach people and influence them in different ways. So I put together a team, had a whole plan out, and it just completely failed. Like, completely. I had like a 16-week objective of how he's going to get everything done, but it was all based on putting a lot of responsibility in some people that I didn't have like the relationship with, and I didn't have the leadership to execute. So it just fell apart. And I was like, but you matter what I could do. So I took some time away from everything.
1 second, bro. Like how you build up the story just now, that was excellent. I could have not have told you it was going to fail at the end of the story. I swear I thought it was going to be a rags to riches to get all the way to the top.
But I like the name, babe. You should put that on a shirt, bro.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah.
Soon. But after that, I really had to look at a lot of things because, like, we was on this good track, but everything kind of fell apart. And I kind of had to look at how do I pivot and move from this failure and do something else. And that's when I had shaved my head bald. And you didn't see me. That was like that was a time for just personal reflection, just going back into the bag and seeing what's next. So I had the chance over summertime to link up with one of my brethren in New York.
Okay.
We was talking about the idea of this lifestyle brand. You know, I remember we was walking by Rockefeller Tower and he was like, wait, let's start a lifestyle brand. I said, what is a lifestyle brand? I don't know anything about that. That's just
Trendsetters.
let's just do it.
Yeah.
So I went back to school and I just started getting into designing because I had a wall. Crazy story. I had my room and I wanted to decorate my room at as low cost as possible. So I was like, let me make one collage and collage my wall. So I went to the bookstore and I found this Masters of Fashion like art book, which was like this nice high quality print art book from all the best designers from around the world. And I wanted it, but it was like $40. And I was like, I ain't paying $40 for this book. Like that's still a lot. So I talked to one of my friends and she was like, oh, she has a coupon to the bookstore. So I took the coupon. I rang it up, $40 exactly. Took the book, bought the book, collaged the wall, and just use that inspiration from that to understand the creative world and how the best of the best been doing it. And then I kept talking to my friends and I was like, wait, how do we do this? How do we make this work? And then I was like, wait, no, not lifestyle brand because that's limiting. A brand is just a label. That's something that you just slap on you.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's separate from you. I was saying, what if we take one step further and make a home of excellence?
Yeah.
So it's not something that you put on you, but it's something that you step into. You know, because a home have a feeling to it, have a vibe, has an energy. So we said, let's set out and do this vibe as like a creative agency. And we was like, what do we call it? We was like, man, we don't know. The original idea was Tings.
Tinks. Everybody want tinks.
Yeah. So we went from there, and then Dorian happened. And I was like, right, that's crazy. And at the time, I wasn't sure if I wanted to be back in the Bahamas after I graduated or the UK or the US. But I went on that same relief trip I was talking about. And I was sitting outside amongst all that rubble in the hot sun. And I was like, but you know what? No matter where you go in life, you could be suffering. But it's better to suffer in a place that you love than in a place where you don't love.
At home.
But not only that, it's like, bro, you could still go to all those other places.
Yeah, you still
Like,
can.
All it takes is a trip. Don't let Corona stop you, bro.
Exactly.
Real.
So I remember I went back home. As soon as that trip was done, I was laying in bed. And I was just like, everything just hit me. But I was like, it need to be based off Bahamian excellence. Because that's something that we have never really taken the chance to really emphasize and strengthen.
That's true.
Because we learn how to make money from the blue and the flag. We learn how to make money from the gold, but we never understood the value and the strength of the Bahamian people.
Yeah.
Which is just that. So what we did was we took that and we turned that into its own luxury brand. And that's when them first photos, right here, this was one of the first photos.
Okay.
I wanted to put I took this photo randomly because the bus driver, like, I asked him, I was like, bro, you want to take one photo of me? I was like, yeah, babe. So he took one photo, one shot. It was fresh. And I was like, let me put something on this. So I hit up my brother and I was like, babe, should I put Tings on this? He was like, no, babe, you should put the other name for it. I was like, what other name? He was like, you should put Hamian on it. I was like, Hamian? That look ugly, bro. That's terrible. And he was like, no, babe, trust me. I was like, all right, let's put it in all caps. So we slapped it in all caps and we put it on the photo. And I was like, hold on.
And it being fire.
There's something. So we just kind of taking them same values that we understand the Bahamas to be based off of from independence time, which is liberation, uniting the people, working towards something great. And we putting that in that home of excellence, that creative agency, that lifestyle brand, and just doing whatever we can, breaking the rules and representing that through digital format, through print format, through anything.
Yeah, I so all for what you doing, bro. Like, to the point, it's like, you know, I love seeing it. Like, you know, I love supporting it too. Like, you know, and that's why I wanted to create a platform like this, as well as my other platforms, to highlight these things that people don't generally know that's going on. Because it's like, all right, we could always go for the popular topical things, but it's like, right, do you know what amazing is happening underneath the scenes? But it's just bubbling and growing. That's why I say we live right now in the great Bahamian Renaissance.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Like
100%.
Even if it ain't happening in Nassau or happening in Freeport, it's happening around the world, and it's all Bahamian. It started getting all interconnected because it's like borders don't really separate us because we get the internet. So it's like it's Bahamians doing things in all over Canada, in New York, in Atlanta, in Miami, Orlando, in Los Angeles, all the way in UK, London, all the way, you know, in China. So it's like, you know, I always feel the need. It's like, it's no reason why we can't all connect. And it's like, you know, and it's not, and there's space for everybody. So it ain't no feel like monkey see, monkey do thing. Everybody can put their spin. Because, see, what I realized, and I had a moment just like you when you said you came back home and you didn't know whether you wanted to move back home or not. I had the same moment, and it was like, you know, I just saw that we grew up sort of trying to reach for a culture, right? Whether it be U.S., whether it be Jamaican, whether it be whatever, besides our own. But our culture is so untapped that it's like, boy, we could do so much and no one else could copy it. You got to be Bahamian to do Bahamian culture.
Facts.
Or whatever. Or else it's going to feel fake. You know, it ain't going to be original. It ain't going to be officially Hamian.
You can't really read it because it's upside down, but right here on the top it say an independence movement of a generation searching for paradise.
I like
That
that.
ain't no different from what you say the Bahamian
Wise
Renaissance.
words.
Yeah. You know, but so with that, so okay, so your plans. So after you graduate, you gonna do OPT after you graduate?
No.
So
yeah,
he coming straight home, folks.
Wasting no time.
Ain't wasting no time.
No, yeah, free. I look at it as like simple. If this is a
Yeah.
renaissance, then you got to be a early adopter. You got to be a person
Yeah.
setting the trend.
Definitely. You got to be on the ground floor working hard.
Yeah,
And that's something I feel like probably. I mean, I know I had to take my own route, but it's like, you know, I always tell people in the long run, it's like, all right, yeah, you could move to another country, but it's like the money you about to spend to try to get straight there, you could flip that back into something else.
Facts.
But then a lot of people don't have the vision or anything to actually say, okay, yeah, I can take this money and do something. Because I always say, but it ain't nothing to hop on a jet and go where you need to go.
facts.
Because it's like, okay, you have Hamian magazine, and he comes with a print. Ain't nothing stopping you from taking this to a trade show and presenting it to people, or any other conference that's going on in North America, South America, Europe, wherever.
Yeah,
So it's like, you know, and it's like, we need more of this highlighted. Because it's like, you know, we have a culture that's very underdocumented. No one really, or everybody knows what we learn in primary school and high school
It's
through
very
social
outdated.
studies. So it's like, you know, we're the new tastemakers. We're the new trend. It's like, you know, when you think about Bahamian culture and the evolution of it, it's here right now. It's here at Hamian. It's here whether it be any other like clothing brands or like, you know, music festivals. I told someone the other day, you know, we have a whole, and then a lot of those brands already been on the show, like the Geek Out, like, you know, for the culture, like all of them. Like, you know, you got all these different pockets of things, and it's like people ain't really know what's going on, but it's like, bro, these here. Or I never thought this would go on from Bahamians, but it's like, bro, we great, bro. You know who Bahamians are, bro. Like the first like black comedian was a Bahamian. Burt Williams in New York in the 1920s or whatever. Like, you know, the first black actor who got nominated for Oscar was Bahamian.
Big Sydney.
Bahamians built the city of Miami, so it's like
we the ones who started the New World. We was the first country found on the West.
exactly
By the other side.
So it's like, you know, everything could begin with us, and we gotta just think bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, no, I when I was a junior, I worked in DC for a semester. I was working at like a top think tank over there. And also through like 2018 and 19, I was traveling to the UK, going to conferences. And the craziest thing is everywhere I went, the biggest commodity I had was being from the Bahamas. And that's what people don't understand. The thing that makes you stand out above every single other person is being Bahamian or representing the Bahamas, or being able to say that just for Christmas break, you're going back home.
Real.
And that home is the Bahamas, because that's where everyone else want to live. So I think that it's great to have international exposure. I'd say it's probably essential.
It is.
But the whole thing is like, we have the benefit of being the #1 tourism destination in the world.
Yeah.
We have people coming here from around the world that we can meet. We could also go to around the world and meet other people. But we have to be the locale to set the trends, because we have the people coming to us. Like who's going to New Jersey for any like random reason? No one.
No
But
one.
people sitting up in their house saying, man, we should go to Nassau.
Yeah.
And I want to go
Like,
see
they
this
want to
one."
go to the
Take a
Bahamas.
cruise.
I want to
Yeah.
go on the sand, the beach, and it's like we bigger than. The thing about it is when people think about the Bahamas, all they think about is this, like you say, the aquamarine, the gold.
Mm-hmm.
They only think about the hotels. They only think about, I guess, probably maybe some local bear brands, maybe some tourist attractions, but they don't really. And they probably, the only culture they probably think about is Junkanoo, but it's because it's so different, they ain't really know what to call it. But it's so much more than that.
Yeah, but things gonna change because our job at Hamian ain't necessarily to make a T-shirt or put out a photo. It's to change the mentality. It's the mentality because that's something that beats everything else. Because yesterday I went downtown and there was no one there because of the COVID thing. And I was just walking around looking at these buildings, all the stores, all the gift stores. And I was like, wait, they got to be ready because in the next 10 years, they may not be here. In the next 5 years, they may not be here. The next 5 months, they may not be there. And that maybe because anything going on around the world, but just because something naturally may rise up and take them same spots. So if they don't adapt, there's a whole generation that's about to rise up and start challenging for the top spot. And that's breaking the box because nation building ain't a once a time thing. It's a process.
Yeah.
We got to do the same thing Pinland and Milo Butler and all these other past
Real,
leaders did, which is challenge the system and create new.
That's good. That's good. But with that, we about to take a quick, short commercial break, and check out these messages on the commercial break. This is powerful, but we already had an episode that calls "This is Powerful." But we're gonna keep it Hamian with it. Benji, the
Yeah.
crew. We got the live studio audience. Let's clap. We coming right back. Yeah. See. Hi. This is your favorite zaddy, Lord Jalen Willard from Erryting Kool. And this episode is sponsored by...
What is good? A lot of people have been asking me time and time again, what is Hamian? To be honest with you, I can't really answer that. But what I can tell you is who Hamian is for. Hamian is for those who break the box. It's for those who manifest heaven on earth. It's for those who choose to collaborate instead of compete. It's for those who know the best thing you can be is yourself. It's for those who understand you can't move forward, upward, and onward if you're not together. And most importantly, Hamian is for those who love. Now, is Hamian for you? I don't know. You tell me.
So we're back. Those commercial breaks always be so amazing. So many different things be going on. Actually, I know it's something crazy. I probably gonna worship the shrine afterwards, or whatever. Like bow to it at least once. But tell us about this whole setup right here.
Yeah.
Because we have it center frame, and Benji's about to get into that a little bit.
Yeah, so just to break down like the whole setup, a couple things. I'll start first off with the binder that we have. This is like the first Hamian official portfolio,
Okay.
which has some of the original photos that we edited. And I actually have one of them that I designate specifically for
Oh my goodness.
the original People Network with
Cool.
Oh, this
one little handwritten message for y'all,
Hey,
yo, this is dope, man.
like, you don't get no better than that.
Hold on, I get it. Hold on, let me.
You could read it too, yeah. It's all good.
I gonna bring it to the camera. Hold on, y'all can see that right there. All right, the official Hamian Blues. That's the one. Even what's behind it,
Big Mullins.
bro. Thanks a lot, bro. Like this is dope.
Yeah, babe.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, so that's the first thing, because first thing we did was we want to showcase the brand through the photos. Then we got some of the official shirts here. We have two of them. One of them is the just Hamian classic silhouette,
Okay.
which is just the normal black with the white. And then on the back of it is the,
What do two I stand for?
we can't talk about that.
Yeah,
That's
wrong
top,
place.
top secret.
Okay.
So these ones, these classic shirts that we have go for $45.
Okay.
The ones that we had sold out. And then these ones were the official sample series ones.
Oh.
So on the back of it, you have this like little piece of writing, which is sample 001, which is the first, like these shirts were the first ones that we ever made, and they're organic. We used them for our first shoots.
Okay.
And these ones were kind of like a collectible to
Okay, that's dope.
represent what we're doing. They went for $150.
Oh. Yo, really that couture brand, like, yo, this is art.
Yeah.
And you about to respect art.
And last thing we have is this recent piece. So we
All
took like a old frame and stand and repurposed it. So I had an old YSL book, which is, you know, the Vez Saint Laurent, which everybody knows. And basically I just took out a lot of those photos and started layering them out. So it all showcases the brand of what YSL is, but obviously we have to throw in some of the Hamian influences behind it. Now there's something behind the black photo, but we don't disclose that until we have like, someone specifically who we want to give the piece to. So eventually we're gonna like either donate it or either sell it. The sale price of it is after the price of when the year of the brand started, so 2020. But
so that's $2,020.
and $20, yes.
All right, that's dope.
So it kind of is just like I don't know. It's hard to explain. I guess it's up to most people's interpretation. Like I don't want to really break down and say what it means. It's kind of open to what you see. You know, there's a lot of use of colors. There's a story behind it, but I like people having the chance to read the story for themselves before they have the story.
That's dope. I feel like, bro, I am in the presence of like a art exhibit. Like, yeah, bro, we upgraded, you know. Like, I'm like, yo, we got fine art, high art. I love it. All right, so
You know the vibes.
so is this whole piece is gonna be auctioned off, or it's just up for sale right now?
Yeah, so we have this like specific piece. Obviously, we use it in Copart for like a whole display. But this piece itself, hopefully, is either going to be auctioned off or sold. I don't know. We just really made this a couple of days ago, and we're just gonna see what happens to it. It depends on if anyone's interested, and if not, then we may go on and actually try and auction it, maybe donate it. I don't know. We'll see.
But I like the guts of you guys. Like, you just told me he just made this 2 days ago. And he say this cost $2,020.
Of course.
Yeah.
I like that boldness, bro. Because you ready, bro. I ain't got to be named nobody to charge you this. I just say, this is fine art. This is what its value is. This is the value of my work. If you want it, you can pay for it. If you don't, move along, bro.
And I mean, I could show you why it really is a great piece of art, but I'd have to move this. So... But we can't do that.
Yeah.
No.
It's top secret.
Yeah.
But this is the whole point, because one of our mottos is break the box. It's almost like for everyone else, you'll only see a piece of the whole image, but it's only the person who's willing to break the box and take that step who gets to see what's behind the box.
That's good. Yeah.
And they'll never know what the value is until you pay for it.
Yeah.
Bro, this is all dope, bro. Like, so this, because I know you saying y'all was gonna do some more like event coverage and things like that with this.
Yeah.
So what's the whole like plan and layout and press run with this?
But so if I'm being completely honest, my philosophy with all this is just take this one step at a time, one day at a time.
Okay.
The whole brand was built off of faith and just seeing how God directs each step and just being faithful with those steps. And I seen how sometimes you could have a plan and it get derailed. So I know what I want. I know what I would like to see, but at the same time, I have the flexibility to go into each day and just take it for what it comes. So the press release will be whatever press comes. And if there is press, there is. If there isn't, there isn't.
No, I mean from like your side, how y'all gonna roll all of this? Oh, it's just
We'll see.
all right. We're gonna leave it ambiguous. So is it in the future? Do you intend to make more pieces like this?
Yes.
Or do they even have an art exhibit?
Yeah, so my dream is, and I don't know how I'll do this, like absolutely no clue. Like when I tell y'all, like, this is a nice brand, but I really don't have any money. Like $0.
But that's
I mean,
how
bro,
everything is
that's how it started, bro.
Yeah.
You start from 0 and then you build up to 100, bro.
Yeah, but my dream, my vision right now, my most recent vision is for Independence, I want an art show. But what we're gonna do is I have this collection of what Hamian is now, like in proper detail. It's like 100 sentences arranged in this nice poetic essay that details the whole story of the brand, but in a very easy to read way. I'm taking all 100 of those sentences and putting them all individually connected to one of the first photos that we made before the brand launched. So I'm taking 100 photos from before 2020, matching them with each sentence, putting them on a shirt. So it's photo on the front with the word in the back or the sentence in the back. And then I want all of them to also be in art pieces. So if you go to art display, it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 100. So it's a process of you going through and not only not only
Yo,
seeing
this
the
is
story.
fire, bro. Yeah.
It ain't about, because it's all about testing the limits on how you could tell a story. It don't have to be a video. It don't have to be spoken through voice. It could be displayed visually, piece by piece through art. So when you go to this show, not only will you have piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but you'll see people walking around with the art on their shirt. So you can see on their shirt what number 36 is, and then go and connect it to the actual piece of art. And it will not only have its individual significance, but it also have a personal significance, because that piece of art, that photo, will be the photo of probably that person. Because our first original photos were not photos of me, were not artistic photos, but they are photos of either Bahamians or people who believed in Bahamian excellence, which is what Hamian is about.
Top-notch things,
bro. I feel like, as I'm listening to you, what is playing in my head, it's probably like Jay-Z's Magna Carta album, or even the new Jay. It's just like, I feel like, world building and shaping and shifting and this fine art. It's like, I love going to exhibitions and seeing, because I really, fully especially coming from the background, because I went to art school, so I was surrounded by fashion majors, surrounded by painters and sculptors and all this stuff. So that's sort of in me. So when I see it, I know how to appreciate it, because I always tell people I took a year to study art history from the beginning of time all the way to contemporary art. So my appreciation and my palette for it, it's like, all right, basically anything can be art. So how you even have that emotion is a form of contemporary pop art, to where it's like, it ain't, traditionally on a canvas, but it's like, we put it on shirts and it evolves in people. Like it's a more like, it's a little bit of performance art with it's a good mixture, but that's dope. So you went to school, it's for international business?
Relations, so politics and policy.
So how did you even get into this vein of making high art?
My bad. Before we get into that, I want to touch on, because you beautifully explained how you physically transition to art on the canvas or the shirts, or the art display that you want to do for independence. But in your social media vein, specifically Instagram, I don't know, you have a large social media following, and I don't know how much people could interpret what you post, or how you find your models, or just how your whole process is for that. So if you want to explain, how that goes about.
Yeah, so it was two parts. It was one part kind of taking what the vision of the brand was, and transitioning that into Instagram. And then it was also taking really good social media strategy and business and using that as our framework for how we built out the guerrilla marketing of the brand. Basically, our format and our approach was, because everything is driven by content creation right now, we were looking at how do we create the most quantity. So how do we have the highest amount of images that we can put out? Because all it takes for me is to just take our logo and slap it on top of a photo, and then you have a Hamian photo. Now, it does have a specific vibe to it. It does have a specific theme. But we just took that original trademark logo and allowed people to send us in photos, or say, give us a permission to go on their Instagram. And I would just search through their IG and be like, this is a solid photo, let me slap this on this. And then I would have a base of maybe 100 photos, and then say, if I arrange it in this order on the feed, then it looks solid. So what we did was, we weren't trying to get likes, we weren't trying to get follows, we weren't trying to get attention. We were just trying to add value to the person we were collaborating with, and know that they'll share their photo onto their page. So when they come back to our page, what they're gonna see is not only their photo, but this art collection of the blues, the greens, everything else. But there are no rules. And that's something that I really have to challenge myself on the most, because I figure out an aesthetic, I figure out a vibe that I want to use, and I start doing it, and then I get comfortable in it, and then I immediately have to try something new and break the box. Because if I stay the same, then I get complacent. So the first set of models that we had for our shoot were all people who I knew personally, who were very involved in my life when I was at university, who supported the brand. And we didn't just give them a shirt, we gave them a whole video shoot. We gave them a whole photo shoot. We gave them a whole interview, because it's all about showing the best side of them as possible. So in the same way that, in the first day someone just sent me a photo and I said, all right, let me slap Hamian on a photo. Now it's about doing that in different ways and formats. And how our magazine is set up is now that just people can send us in photos and we edit a photo, and then that photo then gets featured on the magazine. So the magazine is just a featuring of all those people who are willing to collaborate with us and showcase it. And we really change all the time. Like right now, our aesthetic is so much different than it was a couple of weeks ago. But I don't know, it's just a challenge for me now to try and push the lines. And what I would originally like to decipher the two is Hamian Official is my own individual shit. That's what I make. That's what I put out. And I want curators to be on magazine that are not me. I want a Monday feature from someone, a Tuesday feature from someone, a Wednesday feature, and use that as a platform to develop the next set of artists and creatives and designers for not just a photo, but hopefully something more. Maybe that's just a stepping stone for them to get into it. But how I got into, I guess, fashion from politics and policy.
Yeah, because that's left brain, right brain.
Yeah. I think it was just one from a realization of the flaws in the system. That power is not about going to the top and trying to bring people up. Power is going down to the bottom and giving it to people and allowing them to work up for themselves. Yeah. So I like to look at it and say, well, what are people consuming? And we live in the 21st century. It's all about music. It's all about fashion. It's all about art. It's all about social media. And I was inspired by a lot of people like A$AP Rocky. Yeah. He was someone who I got into, and I was like, this man built out a whole brand just off collabing with luxury brands and representing an image and showcasing a vibe. And I really just challenged myself. I was like, I'm not a designer, but I want to prove to myself that I could be one. And I think that's everything. Like, people look at me and say I'm creative. I don't think I'm that creative. I think I just have the willingness and the drive to try something new and have the faith to say, if this is what God put in my heart, I gonna try and execute it. I could stop all this shit today and go be an athlete tomorrow if I wanted to, and I believe I could be a great athlete. Just because I have the vision and the drive, and I understand if that's what I want, I could get it. So this is no different. This was just a challenge to myself to say, how could I be Hamian? How could I be the best in what I do? And there is no limits. There is no box. It's just doing you the best you can.
You gotta have that confidence. But I love it. What else can I ask? So, because you brought up A$AP Rocky, and you know that whole collective. I mean, I really like that. That's what, actually, side note, for anybody wondering where I got the whole Lord Jalen Willard from was when I listened to that A$AP Mob. I think their first official album, and it was like, where are you, Lord? And I was like, and he is Lord Flacco. Yeah. That's where I get that from.
Pretty Flacco.
Yeah, Lord Pretty Flacco. That's like, I like that. That's Lord Jalen. Like, so that's where that come from. But like their whole collective, it's like the high art. All right, even though we rappers, we gonna be fashion designers. So do you think you're gonna get into like learning about how to work with fabric and how to stitch and things of that nature?
Yeah, I think so, but would make it even cooler is if someone else could do that.
Yeah. You know, because I always just feel like I need to learn how to do this, but then it's like, if I could find someone who know how to do something, who can take my ideas and bring it to life, that's just as good.
Like that's the actual talent. Y'all just collaborate off of skills and talent like that.
Like, I don't think that I will ever be some great Bahamian fashion designer, but I believe I could be the inspiration for some kid up in primary school now to go in, do that, and he'll go be the best one.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, it's a lot of things like, okay, like something I would love to do is probably like, you know, learn how to make music and make beats. But it's like, I don't have the time and Bahamas, and I already know how to do so many things and do too many things. So it's like, but if I could get with someone to collaborate and be like, I think it should sound like this, and like, you know, be more of like a tastemaker and just be like, you know, we should go like this and like that. And then, you know, a collaborative effort, because no one mind is an island. So it's 100%. Like, you know, collaborating with this person and that person, and it's like, you know, we all could get the glory, and not really being too focused on self-gratification. And I think that's what hinders a lot of people, because you always consume with how I can get. But if we all come together, if we all, you know, original people come together, we can make it, you know, everything Hamian, you see. I say, everything can be cool.
Facts.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have 7 pillars of our brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me hear this.
Love, faith, vision, inclusion, collaboration, authenticity, and revolution.
I love inclusion, bro.
Yeah,
It's a big thing. And you talk about collaboration. It's just this idea of trying to battle not only physical issues, but cultural issues that you can't quantify, like black crab syndrome, like brain drain. Like you beat that by infusing new culture that has certain values like collaboration. Because the same thing is like, you guys have this specific podcast that is your brand that you guys are working to build up. I don't necessarily have to compete with you. I could understand that we could have a very symbiotic relationship by just bigging up each other and supporting one another. And then understand that like so much is division. You know, we trying to tell people do your own thing, work on yourself. But if you find a couple of boys in school in a class of 25 and you say y'all just all find one individual thing y'all good at and then just help each other, help the other 24, instantly allow for everyone to benefit from what everyone else win is.
Yeah, that's why, like you know, I like me and my Marco have this conversation. I don't mind going on other podcasts and collaborating. That ain't nothing to me. Like I don't feel like it's enough for everybody to go around. Like you know, and we big up other platforms too. They
shout out Winter Zone 242.
Hello, who?
Winter Zone 242.
Who did this?
We can talk about it.
All right, but yeah, well, shout out to actually, we might as well shout out all the podcasts, all the Pulp Fiction and the Solid Pods, Big Talks. They just became a part of the Tempo Network. You got Islandish, meets all the way in Freeport. You got all of 10th Year Senior Podcasts. Like, you got so many different other podcasts out there, but it's like, bro, it's a next space. There's other Bayman podcasts. I probably tag y'all if I post this little clip. But I don't feel like, bro, like it ain't a thing to share nothing, bro. Like, why ain't competition? Like, and I really against that whole, I feel, in order for me to be on top, I got to put you down. Like, we could rise together. Like, you know, that's not even, like, naturally intrinsic into us to where we have to feel, like, capitalism put that in us.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's like, wait, if you doing your thing and I doing my thing, and it's like, I big you up, you big me up. All us could win. It's enough people going around, enough people, you know, collaboration and things like that. Because at the end of the day, we all in the struggle together.
Yeah, but you can't move forward, upward, and onward if you ain't together.
Real.
Yeah.
All that together.
All that together, yo. Like, you know.
It's like people is pretend like you can only focus on one thing at one time.
For real. Like, you can't multitask.
I could listen to your song, and then as soon as your song is done, listen to another rapper's song. Specifically, like A$AP Rocky you mentioned earlier. So it's like I could wear a Hamian Offical shirt, and I could wear...
For the culture.
For the culture, Bahari, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to get their own thing off.
And my thing is, like, I tell people all the time, we ain't a clothing brand. Like, the clothes is just another vehicle to promote the idea. So, there's no idea of, like, my clothing brand versus another. Like, my dream is the same way that Supreme collabs with Louis Vuitton.
Yeah,
I'd love to have a Hamian Bahari collab, a Hamian For the Culture collab.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that'd be a big thing if that happened.
Hey?
Yeah.
Off the shelf.
No.
We can make that happen right now. All I got to do is one phone call. I'm like,
yeah, you know what it is, bro.
Yeah. Ain't no reason why there ain't the original people, Hamian X, collab shirt, piece of art, photo. There are no rules.
I mean, bro, you don't know the vibes.
No
I mean, I got a
rules.
whole... back to your whole picture thing, because like I say, I'm a filmmaker by trade. And we cover a lot of culture events, whether it be jungle or carnival. So like, I mean, I don't know if you check out the jungle trademark page.
Yeah, I follow it. I keep up to date with the photos.
Yeah, so it's like we got a ton of things. So like if you want to use, like, tell me whatever, and it's like, all right, let me send this over to you. Ain't no thing or whatever, because it's like, you know, people would be like, oh, well, this person trying to get clout off of me. I'm like, bro, I don't care about clout. It's what you gonna do with the clout? We making money or what? Or I just concerned about, my main concern and purpose for everything is, bro, when the day I die and they about to lay me down, what they gonna say? I want them to say, hey, lies, this man was a legend. Like, he did this and that. We still feel that energy even after he gone. I don't want to say, oh, this was a good person or this, that, and that. No. This was legendary. This can't be taught.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. Everybody got great things to say about it. He left a whole mindset, a whole philosophy, and that's
Facts.
And that's all I care about. Like, you know, money can come, this can come, that can come, but it's like, bro, we only got a certain amount of time on Earth, and we gotta basically do what we gotta do to impact. Because I feel like happiness came into my life when I started making life less about me.
Facts. Powerful.
And I made it more about impacting people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because it's like people always say it's better to give than receive.
You get the most love when you give it away.
Yeah.
Real.
So it's like, you know, if anybody out there who want more love from people, give it. Don't think about trying to get it. Like, give it and you're going to see it come back to you because whatever you put out, you're going to get back.
Yeah, but the idea that money is a determinant of happiness is just something that Babylon has fed the system, you know?
Really?
I think Kobe Bryant is a great example for this generation of what it means to
Rip
live
Kobe.
life. Because it's crazy. He did great things while he was alive, but it wasn't until he died when the Mamba mentality was now kind of passed on to people.
Yeah.
You observed it as a witness. You saw the greatness that he did. You saw the grind and the work that he put in, but it wasn't until he died that it was like, wow, this is really what this guy stood for.
Yeah.
And that's what the objective of everyone's life should be. It's like, what they gonna remember you for after you die? What did you talk about? What did you stand for?
Yeah.
And impact and legacy is not measured by the accomplishments. It's measured by the amount of people that you've impacted. So, like I say, if you look at your life as like a lighthouse, you always pointing niggas to something. What you pointing them to? You pointing them onto rocks to wreck their ship and thief from them, or you pointing them to the harbor? You know, so what you gonna use your life as
It's
a
an
light
amazing
for?
analogy, bro.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
Respect.
But on that note, we're going to take a quick short break and then we, you know, get into more things. We got a next person in there. We're going to talk about a little compost.
Yeah,
There's a big time presenter about to come on.
A big time presenter.
You know,
Yeah,
gotta-
legend. I think he's
A legend.
he's probably. I heard the next Rodney Munker.
And we've had Rodney on this show.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But we're going to be right
shoes to
back
fill.
on Erryting Kool.
To be honest, I don't give a damn about anything this world has to offer me. I don't care about the money, the fame, the success, because it's only when you get everything that you realize it means nothing. But blessed are those with nothing, for they will inherit everything. I am here for one reason only, to glorify God. I am nothing more than a vessel, a boat for the kingdom. I am empowered to overcome any obstacle and do what has never been done before, not because of what I can do, but because of what He has done. So when I'm dead and gone, whether tomorrow or in 100 years, remember that I did all things through Christ who strengthened me. I've been in the shadows, but now it's time to let my light shine.
That's the lime crusted ones. That's the lime.
Yeah, bro.
That's I like them. Yeah.
Fire.
We good though. We running.
Oh,
All right. So we're back.
Yeah.
We have obviously we got rid of the shrine. Actually, we need to take a photo. I need to take a photo with the shrine.
Yeah, like small things.
So we're back, and please introduce yourself, sir.
hi. My name is Nicholas Fox.
Nicholas came with Benji.
Yeah,
And he's
AKA Kompost King.
the Kompost King.
that's what people call me. But
Why are you the Kompost King?
because everything I do revolves around compost, and I aspire to be the greatest at composting.
Okay, so tell us about what composting is, and how does that relate to being Hamian?
Okay, so composting is taking your food scraps or anything biodegradable and just allowing the natural process of decomposition in a controlled manner to break down that organic matter into a fertilizer, usable fertilizer for us as Bahamians, because we throw away so much food every year.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, congrats to OTPM. I can't remember their name. Who cleaned up the landfill? That was like spectacular, but that was one of our biggest problems. Or even going downtown, you seeing the rats and the roaches just pooling
Yeah,
downtown.
or even on the beaches, bro.
Yeah,
like I so sick of that, bro.
So like, this is I always thought like we are a tourist destination, so we should be clean. You know, we should be a very clean place. And what's a better way than to get rid of rat and roaches than to take away their food? So you cleaning up.
Real.
So my mission is to get the entire island to compost, and that's like stage 1. I have like multiple stages for this, you know.
So let me ask a question.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest change that we will see caused by switching to having better soil?
We'll be a lot more sustainable as a country. We'll be less reliant on imports for food.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot more Bahamians who engage in community agriculture or who are more mindful about their choices when it comes to the ecosystem. You'll see a lot more Bahamians creating natural products, which is already a big thing. I mean, but it's just starting. Imagine when everybody has something that they could offer. There's going to be a lot more bartering between Bahamians, you know.
And I think I have a perfect person because, like, you know, I ain't gonna say. I have a friend. I ain't gonna say his name because he probably want me to keep what he doing top secret. But he developing a farm, and I guess when he ready to announce he doing a farm or tell the world that he's farming,
Okay,
like I can connect y'all too because he always like he starts when he was starting to do his farm, he was composting in a small like an old like refrigerator, and he was showing it to me and things like that. So I really fully agree with the whole like, you know, Bahamians getting back to farming and stuff like that.
I mean, if you look at Andros, is the 4th biggest landmass in the Caribbean region. There's a lot of water running through that land. We have endless potential, you know, to be growing our own food. Just the other 2 weeks ago, I went to Blue Lagoon and I found out all of our native trees, 9 out of 10 of our native trees have medicinal value, and why are we like taking advantage of those things? And
hold on, say that again.
Wow.
Say that fact again.
9 out of 10 of our trees have medicinal properties.
Okay, so should we be eating 9 out of 10 of our trees?
I ain't say all of that. But
No, because I want to say this one in there. Because see, me and Marco are very big proponents of eating a plant-based diet.
Same.
Sam.
All right, Ricky.
So,
Another vibes. All through the podcast.
Yeah.
so like, you know, I always just say, let your food be your medicine and medicine be your food, boy. So, yeah, we should grow our own food because, like, you know, even with, and back to that whole 9 out of 10 for having medicinal value during this corona pandemic, shouldn't we be consuming more of our plants?
Yeah.
I totally agree. I mean, everybody's body has a different chemistry to it, and especially if you are native, like let's say you're a Bahamian, your body should be more in tune with the natural trees that are here, you know? So
you're breathing the air from these trees too.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, I took philosophy while I was in school, and like, we're all just connected to the earth. We're just a filter, you know? The earth is like birthing us to live on it and do its will through God. So we should be taking care of it, you know?
Yeah.
The reason that the relationship exists between Hamian and Kompost King is because where our goal is to break the box. We see somebody who willing to take a risk and say, you know, I can just work on dirt and waste and turn that, and look at the biggest issue that we have, which is agricultural industry that is non-existent. Like my BJC was, why do Bahamians not like to farm?
Yeah.
That's what I was like writing reports on.
Yeah.
This is someone who willing to say, you know, I can take a risk and go outside the box and actually work on this because it's going to make a change. And where it really, like, I saw the benefit of it was understanding the aspect for community gardening. Because if everybody just grow their own little thing, they could take their excess, trade with others, share with others. Instead of going to super value, you could go to your local constituency, like farmers market, and you can have a way for people to make money as well as get close to source food. And we see now with coronavirus how dependent we are on imports around the world.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
But like, that's why that's a place I want to get, you know, growing my own food, eating from the land. Like, you know, I'm a grand proponent of that. Like, you know, because we don't know where such and such food is coming from, but it's like, if we want to live longer and a healthier lifestyle, we got to get into the habit of growing our own food, you know, using all natural things in that process.
But I was in Cat Island at the beginning of this year, and I went on this little like walk-through tour from the side of the road to a blue hole. It was probably for like 15 minutes. And on that 15-minute walk, my tour guide introduced me to like 20 different plants that we just saw on that way. And he was like, oh yeah, but if you have a sore throat, take this. If you have back pains, take this. If you're pregnant, take this. Just like literally everything, just off one tree.
Yeah, off the top of his head, there's like it's almost like it's common knowledge, but it's so foreign to everybody else that.
Hold on, say it again. Say that in fact again. Because I feel like this is a continuation of my rant last part.
Just the idea that like
go again.
Like you can go into these natural areas and not only family islands, probably some places in Nassau, and just walk through, and you will just pass by your foot trees and plants that naturally cure things, sore throat, like back pains, like birth pains, anything that you going through. You can just take these medicines, put them in one tea, steep them, boil them, go drink that, and you straight.
Good.
And they were saying that the pine tea is fixed coronavirus or something like that.
Yeah. It builds your immune system, and the pine trees, because it has, I can't remember what the certain like chemical it has inside it, but when the doctor said that didn't surprise me.
Yeah,
because I always was telling people,
I need some though.
You people, if people want to protect themselves against corona, drink Cerecy, drink catnip, drink the bush, wherever it is.
Yeah, we have the cure for most things, like
for
locally.
most things, because people already taking these things out of the country and synthesizing it to make different medicines. So it's like
medicines, like creams, all kind of things that's topical.
Casserole bark, synthesizing that, making Campari, like all kind of things, and you make other medicine from the bark.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
yes,
bro.
I didn't even know that.
Bro, you know how I mean him talk about this, how much our country is plundered of its natural resources.
Oh yes,
we like the Western Africa, bro.
Yeah,
you don't lie.
Aragonite. I have a big theory that the Bahamas is like the pearl of the world.
Right?
Yeah, the fountain of youth is in Bimini. Yes. Why is that? Because the ocean's so clear.
I was in Cat Island, and apparently this is confidential, but apparently they have one pond that is here like everything. Like it's just one big open pond. It don't get deeper than 3-4 feet, and people go out there and just cool out there, and they'll go in with like a disease. Apparently a gal went in there with like breast cancer, just went in there for 10 minutes for a week, came out
crazy.
Straight.
Wow.
All type conspiracy theory things, you go back and think, wait, this ain't real.
Yeah.
Why would you even say
You know
this?
what's crazy? Most conspiracy theories are like something bad, but like every time you hear something in the Bahamas, it's like
something positive.
Healing fountain. Like why would you make a lie and saying, but you go in this water and you could be cured? Like
no, but I would believe that for the mere fact that 9 times out of 10 that pond is uncontaminated. 9 times out of 10. True. It probably has about over 90 different minerals inside the water. 9 times out of 10, if we get in tune with nature, all these ailments caused by dis-ease and dysfunction and inflammation of the body can be cured naturally.
I did a paper in my sophomore year on cancer and stress. And most of our ailments, stress is just that main component. Like I can't remember, but I think being a 40-year-old woman who smokes a pack every day has the same risk for a woman who just is stressed every day.
That's crazy.
So like you out here going to your 9 to 5 that you never wanted to be in, that you never wanted to do. You got to go home to a stressful home. You could get stressed out and you could dead before you 50.
That's like people stressing out about this coronavirus situation. They could be certainly making themselves more sick.
Exactly.
Just by the mass hysteria and everyone being so caught up in the sauce.
That's why I ain't for it, bro. Like I gone on my WhatsApp last night. Like, because I shop heavy with the organic shops over here, especially.
Shout them out so I can know.
Yeah, shout them out.
Yeah,
shout out to Essential Alkaline Sherman. I got because he has like the sea moss, the herbal tonic.
Oh, really?
The like sea moss and capsules. Like anything you want, like from a natural standpoint, he got it. Whether it be in liquid form or like in capsule form. So I always tell people like, yo, all this like chemicals you taking in whatever, like you could do it the natural way. You need to cleanse the blood. Black charcoal. You need to clean your teeth. Chew coconut. Like, I remember I worked the other day. Like we had this old coconut just sitting up, and I was at the gym earlier, and I was talking to shout out Jen. I know you was watching the show. That's that Jen got that
friend of the show.
That friend of the show. We might do y'all next, but she was like, if you take an old coconut, like just let it dry in the sun, it'll start to make coconut oil. And I was like, for real? And she was like, yeah. Before you could crack it open, eat the husk, and it'll help you burn fat. we had the old coconut in the office, and I raised it up and I smell it, and like I just felt some wetness on my hand, and I was like, wait, what this is? And I smell it, and it was coconut oil.
I thought it was
Or whatever,
crazy.
like it was coconut oil, and I was like, wow, the beauty of nature. It was like at the end of the day, it's a seed, and like coconut water has many minerals in it. If you blend the jelly of coconut with the water, you get coconut milk. Period. And then if you want to sweeten it, put a little agave and cinnamon, and boom.
You don't even gotta sweeten that.
You don't even gotta sweeten it.
Yeah.
So, but like but it's like if we get in more in tune with nature,
Facts.
it's a lot of things that we reveal to us.
I have so this is one big thought that I had from earlier that I just got reminded on. And there's this quote from Marcus Garvey, who was like one huge inspiration for me.
Yeah.
And he says, any supposed freedom, if someone's saying they're giving you freedom, but it really only creating a system where you become dependent on someone else, in real freedom.
No.
You realize, like, I don't get into all the education system and everything that we have in the Bahamas. But
No, go speak on that, bro.
Yeah, but we got time.
Yeah, go
if you
speak
look
on
at
that, bro.
if you look at the system itself, there's only a few key requisites that each individual would need to actually go and be a free person in the country that we have. One, if you understand the environment, like if you know all of these plants, like you know the animals, you understand the ecosystem, that immediately gives you the mental knowledge and freedom to go to any island in the Bahamas and just function.
And live.
Because you know your environment, you know what you're featuring. And then the second thing that I think we should be teaching, other than the environment, is basic camera skills. Because now in the 21st century, all you need is a phone. All you need is a camera.
Yeah.
All you need is a piece of technology to express your creativity and begin learning some technical skills that can make you a buck for yourself.
Yeah. Go ahead. You was gonna say something?
Oh, no, I wasn't saying anything.
You might as well say something.
Yeah, I might as well. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about this all the time, and I mean, if something, an advanced skill such as boating or swimming, a lot of people on the island can't even swim. And
Hey,
Yeah.
serious thing.
like, if everybody knows how to sail a boat or use a boat, that opens up the islands to the entire country. You're just not stuck to an island. Many people live on this island, never even left Nassau in their life. They only know this. And that's crazy to me. Like,
Because they can't even get in the water.
yeah.
But it's amazing to think, like, if you understand nature, let's say you don't know no math, no English, no nothing, but you understand nature.
Yeah.
That in itself gives you the mentality and the mindset to pick up something else like math or any other skill
Right,
because
yeah.
you knowledgeable. But if all you know is math, all you know is this modern thing that you learn in school, and then someone drops you outside in the middle of nowhere in the environment, you'll be lost. And you have
100%.
no idea how to
So
pick
right.
that up.
When Ben and I were younger, we were in Scouts. Shout out to Scouts.
Facts.
And I mean, if in all honesty,
Well, the secret society.
Oh man.
in all honesty, that taught me how to use my brain differently. Because I mean,
Yeah.
you only go to school, you come home, you do your physical extracurricular, but this was teaching me how to like trail signs or how to look at certain things in nature and just be like, this means that and that means this, and that carried on all throughout my life. I'd never forget those things. Like that taught me how to reason when I'm outside, how to be in tune with nature.
Facts.
You know.
As
You
simple,
can't unplug, bro.
yeah, as simple as like, look at that. That's poison wood. If you touch that, you're gonna get itchy. But right next to it is gamelame. If you take that and you break
You're
that and you put
good.
that on the poison wood, it fixes it.
Yeah.
Because you can't unplug when you're in nature, bro.
Yeah.
That's your environment. So you got to be aware at all times.
Yeah.
You got to understand your environment. But you go to school, you can unplug as soon as you leave. As soon as the bell ring, you got lunch. It ain't no lunch when you in nature, bro.
I mean,
you can eat now.
you
but-
got lunch, but lunch
Yeah,
is all
you
the
gotta
time, bro.
find it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lunch could be you too.
Yeah.
For real. If
Yeah.
you step around.
I mean, like,
Facts.
simple thing as they tell us, get your firewood, protect it. We don't listen. It rain or the dew fall heavy. Our
Right.
firewood wet. You can't have breakfast now.
No way.
And the consequences is tangible. In school, you can't understand what a F has in the actual like long term effects of your
For
life.
real.
But if you can't eat, or if somebody spilled the water, or if somebody caused a tent go boom, or if someone caused a big,
It's immediate.
you feel
Immediate.
that you can't fish, you starve. Simple.
Yeah.
So the reason I decided to do this composting thing is to create a foundation for the foundation of something like Hamian. Because with this type of brand, you're gonna need like well-fed, energized people who have a root in this country who are connected, because I hate to speak on the system this way, but the system creates...
Speak on it, bro. Speak on it.
The system is create like people who like half-minded, you know? They don't want to do anything for themselves. They're afraid to chase their dreams. Like, they just make people to go work that 9 to 5. You wanna work government job, you don't need nothing for that.
No.
But to say, like, I could take this risk and try better my country, I might lose it all. I might gain everything that I possibly wanted in life to help everybody else. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, if you want to change the system, you have to go against it, but not cause anarchy.
Yeah.
Be constructive about it.
I feel like with the system, the best way to change it is from the underground, bro.
Yeah. It's like a bamboo tree.
Yeah.
It takes years underneath for the roots to grow.
No.
And they grow
As soon as
deep.
it grow,
and then as soon as it pop out, days, weeks, boom, all the way up.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, we could be... I say we've done everything overtly, and it hasn't worked. But if we be covert with everything, we don't tell nobody, we just move in silence. Next thing you know, people ain't gonna see it coming. Next thing you wake up, oh, flip. How this get like this? How this get like that? Right. But we've been working on the underground and getting in the spots and places. Almost like, I always like to reference Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. How, like, you
Big film.
big
film.
yeah. And if you understand, like, Palpatine's and the Siths, they had a 1,000-year plan how to invade the galactic system and, like, turn it on its head. And, like, of course, along the way, that the method that they was gonna do it changed. But it's like, bro, I'm gonna get in. Y'all ain't gonna see it coming. But on that fateful day, just one switch and everything completely go haywire, bro.
I just flipped the switch.
I ain't gonna lie. I saw it in your eyes. You wanted to do it.
As soon as he said it, I was like, that's my only chance. I might as well.
But I think, talking about the system and how change needs to happen, I think what we need is, again, looking at the roots of what the Bahamas was. And I think you got to go back to the era of the pirates. And
we still in the era of the pirates.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we outside of the Hilton is the Woodes Rogers statue, and it says the same little quote about piracy expelled, commerce restored. Man, we should flip it.
Real.
Commerce expelled, piracy restored.
Yeah.
Because as soon as everybody started doing things for themselves and just running their own system and flying their own flag, there are no rules. Yeah. No one can stop you. The only reason there is a system is because we give the system respect and we allow ourselves to be conform to it. As soon as you start doing things for yourself, everything's changed. So
for real, because I always say, first of all, I always take this motto of ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you, so you might as well do it for yourself.
Facts. Big facts.
So if I don't have to ask somebody for permission for nothing, I just do. You can't control what I do or whatever. I ain't asked for nobody for permission to do this. I just did it or whatever. And whatever happened. You can't shut me up. I ain't asked for no favor or nothing like that. So, and I always say the internet is the biggest equalizer or whatever. Because it's like, bro, I don't have to go through no gatekeepers. I didn't have to ask someone to be on a radio station show or TV show to be on that network. You just create one.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You just create that avenue. You don't have to ask someone, let me go to this place or that place. You save your money up and go wherever you need to go. So it's like, you don't need permission from nobody to do nothing. So I agree with that.
As soon as we stop looking at government as the hero.
Yes.
And this is one thing for the shout out to Liberty for the at least the capitalist libertarian small government perspective, which is just that. I'll put it like this, right? Because I always like putting it into analogy, right? Let's say you work at you use a packing boy or something, right?
Yeah.
You working, you getting a couple dollars, right? What you taking them dollars and using them for, you're gonna be very selective with because that's your money that you earn and it's yours.
Yeah.
Now imagine then your mommy come and she say, all right, here's $10, go to the store, buy something with it and keep the change. Now you spending someone else's money for something for you, you could be a little bit selective, but you ain't gonna be as conservative as if it was your own money.
Yeah.
Now imagine your mommy come and she give you $10 and say, go buy something for your sister. Now you're gonna take someone else's money to use something on someone else, and you really ain't gonna be watching what you spending that money on because this ain't your problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
So you have no incentive in watching how that money being spent, and that ain't no different from government. Government big and it's far from our problems. So Minister Perry, nobody gonna know what I going through on a day-to-day basis. They attempts to solve my problems could be decent, but they always gonna fall short because they don't know the problem as good as me. And only when I look at myself and my community as the root of change and use those tools to solve my problem and only look to government when it's really necessary, then we see that responsibility in society don't just fall on them, it fall on all us. And everybody got to do their part. So it ain't about what they doing or they not doing. It's about what you doing and what you not doing.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
Can't really say better than that.
Because I did.
Especially the parking bar analogy, bro. You hit the average shows right there.
Average shows. And then it's like, okay, like you got friends. It's like, wait, what? And that's how I was with when it came to TJT and the traveling. I'm like, bro, we working. We all at a certain level. We around the same age. Like, obviously, I would say on this part, I'm not sort of elder statement. Like, I was close to 30, but it's like, me and my guys, I'm like, bro, we working, we doing this. It's like, we gonna spend this money doing foolishness anyway. And then I married or got kids. So we might as well pull together and let's do something that affect us later on or whatever. Because we didn't do enough for our 9 to 5 and who runs those. Let's do something for us.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
A big motivator for me when I came home, because I last semester just didn't want to do it. I said I could just come home and just start composting.
Oh, so you about to graduate from Liberty too?
No, I went to St. Leo. I'm still enrolled at St. Leo University. I just took a semester online.
A little sabbatical.
Yeah, I have online classes, but cheapest.
Everybody but to start having online classes.
He was the first one on the trend.
Cheapest, I tell them now. I was this early summer for me, so Now I saw a post on IG that says the decisions you make today will determine who you are from now. And I was like, babe, every day I wake up, I say, babe, next year this time, I don't want to be doing the same thing I do it now. I want to be like 5 steps ahead of myself. Because honestly, it's that drive. Once you have that drive, you get anything done,
But I had one fortune cookie once. It said, procrastination is the fear of failure. And that really hit me too, because I was like, who, what? Like, you only really procrastinating if you scared of your own potential. Like, if you don't want to take risks, if you don't want to be who you want to be, it ain't because someone else. It's because you just scared to be who you think you want to be.
Like, when I was the name Kompost King, that was...
so Kompost King is the actual name of the whole...
No, it's called C3, but people call me Kompost King.
Because I was just going to... You might as well change it, doesn't matter.
CK.
I was thinking that, but I don't want to be too... I'm not a vain man, Like,
but you gotta...
Oh, okay.
You got it to be, if you're the Kompost King, you're the Kompost King.
Like that word king had so much meaning to me. Like, that's such a great word that I didn't want to put that on me. But the name came about when, 2 summers ago, we'd be freestyling. And I just came up with it I was a Kompost King. I'll compost you, sell you to your mommy or something. So now that's what people call me. And then my dad's like, what are you gonna call it? And I had the list of names. And he's like, I like that Kompost King name. And I was like, you know what? I gotta
You might as well go with Kompost King, bro.
The people didn't dub you Kompost King.
So it's might as well be Kompost King, bro.
Facts. I guess it is what it is. Y'all know what to call me from now on.
Kompost King. So what's the next steps of Hamian in 2020?
So the next step going forward is really taking advantage of every opportunity that's set in front of us. So right now I see the opportunity being COVID-19 and a lot of people being in their house by themselves, wasting their time.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to take advantage of this generation who has a lot of energy, who has a lot of vision, and now has time on their hands because they can't go be social and they can't go to school. And
social
figure out
distancing.
and figure out how I could collab with them and bring them in on the process. So I want to really start launching a lot more of digital collabs, creating a platform for more people to write, a platform for more people to design, a platform for more collaborations on the whole. Start getting out, a lot more content in terms of shirts, but But mainly it's all about the relationships and building out new relationships and then strengthening the relationships that we have with people. And then I just have the faith that as those relationships naturally develop, the question gonna come about of how we could collab, what we could do now. And as those naturally form, it's like we gonna flow where life takes us. So I could say right now, but I want the next thing to be this art show, and I want to put as much as I can over these next couple months into it. But we also launched Hamian Records, which is
Hamian Records.
Yeah, which is the same thing, taking our same platform and trying to just.
So y'all gonna sign artists or?
I don't know. We might.
All right.
Right now, like again, I don't want to promise anything that we can't do. Like right now, all I promised people was editing a photo for them and doing a write up on their music. But if we take that and that goes somewhere, and we have the right other people coming into the process to say, hey, like I want to be involved with it, then it's like, all right, let's do it, because I don't have the time and availability to run a record label whatsoever. But I think that opportunity may attract the right people who have the expertise, who have already been doing it and saying, hey, how can we collab and make this happen? Because it ain't about whose it is. It just matters that it get done.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Hamian Magazine, Hamian Records, Hamian Official, Hamian Drip, Hamian Everything, Hamian Art. There are no rules. That's all that matters.
There are no rules. Kompost King.
Yo.
Next step.
The next steps for me right now, trying to get some more property. I just got a
Also, you're in the business of purchasing real estate and plots right now?
Actually, yes.
Okay, that's
so right now I have 2 businesses that give me at least £100 from each location a week. But my next steps, by summer I want a hotel. By summer I want a hotel on my as one of my clients.
That's dope.
Because 300 million tons of food a year.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine how much Bahamas and Atlantis is throwaway. You know, I mean, I know Bahamas has their own eco initiative, but something for this is something.
But they need the Kompost King hotels.
They need me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need the Kompost King. The Kompost King is coming to the rescue.
Trust me.
Save the day.
All right. But I would like to thank y'all for coming on this show, Erryting Kool. Because, we always like to keep Erryting Kool on the Original People Network. But, thank y'all for the photo. Thank y'all for enjoying this conversation. This probably be our longest part yet.
Thank you for having us, man.
30.
Possibly.
But
I think it might have been the best.
Of course.
If it's the Hamian one.
2 goats.
Every new part is the best one.
I like that. You got to keep moving up.
We got to keep moving. We got to find out on this.
Yeah.
But
you're going to have performance on the next.
But thank y'all for watching. See y'all next time. It's Lord Jalen with it. And I got to say, yeah, see.
Hey.
Yeah.
You're